Hi, I'm Nancy Dadami, and I'm your host today for the Earth Pig webinar. And I'm excited to share my insights with you to help you this year live a life and business that you can sync up to your soul. So let's get started. The Earth Pig is an animal that is bringing a lot of exciting changes this year. Some of them will be great and some not so great. What I'd like to say though is that in 1959, that was the last year that we had an Earth Pig year. So it's always important to take a look back and see what was going on energetically in the last Earth Pig year. And it'll be another 60 years before the Earth Pig comes around again, because there's there's 12 animals and 5 elements. So if you're turning 60 after February 5th this year, you are an Earth Pig. In 1959, something magical happened. There was the first daily operating monorail system in the Western Hemisphere in Disneyland, open to the public. It ran every day. And I don't know if you've been to Disneyland, but the monorail is elevated and it's a car that takes you around. Just look how far we've come. We have rapid transit now. Some of it's above ground, some of it's below ground. And we've even entered into the age of the self-driving car. So there's a lot of innovation in 1959. Today, let's take an overview of what we're going to look at. We're going to explore flow and soul and energy in 2019, the Earth Pig influences this year and the energetics, and why we look at Chinese astrology. The energy of the Earth Pig that you need to know, and the 2 chakras that you can call in to help you this year. And all of this we're going to keep in mind as how you can sync up your life and business with your soul. So you have a guest coming to your home. And when you have a guest coming, you usually know who they are. Well, this guest is the Earth Pig, and they're arriving on February 5th. Suitcases and all. And what's happening right now is the Earth Dog is gathering his things and getting them packed up, and has actually probably moved some of the things out already as the transition is beginning. So when you have a new guest that's going to come and stay with you, wouldn't you like to know something about them? The Earth Pig is bringing to us honesty, kindness, and they love pleasure. They're also very generous. So these are 3 things that are new energies coming into us this year, all of which can help us listen to the messages from our soul when we're honest, when we're kind, and when we're having fun. So who am I, and why should you listen to me? Well, I'm an explorer and a detective, and I have had to find myself several times in my life. The first time was when my father passed away when I was 16, and that led me on a search to find the meaning of life. And I was asking questions like, who am I, and why am I here? And I started to look at different religions and metaphysics for answers and philosophy. The second time, I was in a marriage. I was in my 40s, and there was a betrayal by my husband. So what I did is I tried to keep the marriage together, and I tried to reinvent myself to be all the things that I thought he wanted. What ended up happening is I lost my marriage, and more tragic than that is I lost myself. So I had to begin the rebuilding process all over again. And through that is when I discovered energy. And energy is everywhere. And I began with the world of massage, but then I also dove into the energy modalities of Reiki. And the third time was when I was a high school vice principal dealing with violence on a daily basis. And what I realized is I was on high alert all the time, which when that happens, there's a big gap between you and the communication your soul is trying to have with you. I came home one day after a harrowing experience, and I knew that I wasn't having a life of meaning that I wanted. And that's when I discovered Feng Shui. And in Feng Shui is another energy modality that looks at how you set up your space to create flow in your life, to create the connection between you and your environment and your soul. It's a beautiful dance. And what I discovered was when I move one thing here and move something else there, I felt better. So I took it to the school and I arranged my office. And what I noticed is people began to treat me differently. Actually, they treated me with more respect. So I knew I was on to something. When I was a high school teacher, students loved any activity that let them learn more about who they were, their favorite color and what that might say about their personality, or some handwriting analysis and how that might give them some insights into some of their characteristics. They're hungry for self-knowledge. And I've noticed that there's 3 times in life when people ask, who am I? Why am I here? And how can I make a difference? And maybe you're in one of those places right now. And those 3 places are when you're a teenager, when you're in your 40s, and at retirement, and several times after retirement. So why listen to me? Well, because I know and understand the system of Chinese astrology, Feng Shui, archetypes, and flow. The system has helped me to unlock my destiny code, which has improved my relationship with myself and who I am, and my relationships with other people. It gave me more understanding to the meaning of life. I'm an ox in the Chinese system, and one of the characteristics of oxes is they work really hard. So knowing that helps me watch that I don't overwork without taking a break. Oh yes, I've made some mistakes, and I've learned what's important, what and when to let go and when to move forward. I'm a detective. I can read the energy and symbolism revealed in my experiences and other people's experiences and in their spaces. I'm going to tell you a story about a client that I had who was a single mom, and she fought a lot with her teenage son, which is kind of normal because they're trying so hard to be someone other than their parents. And they fought about going to school and eating right and cleaning his room, the normal kind of things. And when she learned about his Chinese astrology and the characteristics and what his needs were, it changed how she treated him and responded to him. She became more patient and understanding and knew what he needed to succeed. The big payoff came for her when he asked her one evening to sit down and watch a movie with him, and that had never happened before. He had never invited her into his world. So life is a dance between heaven and earth, the ebb and the flow of life. And we're hoping to have a lot more flow than ebb. So let's take a look at flow. Everything you want is in the flow. Peace of mind, abundance, fulfilling relationships, a meaningful career, vibrant health, creativity, and a life with meaning. I have been a feng shui practitioner for 24 years, and I've discovered there's an inner flow and an outer flow, and it's not enough to get your outer surroundings in order if your inner landscape is cluttered with limiting thoughts and beliefs. The inner flow is where your soul, your inner magnificence, and your intuition connect. The soul is a mysterious because it seems to be hidden from you, yet it's available to you when you learn to listen to its messages. Your soul is designed to keep you healthy on all levels, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's an intuitive transmitter and is always giving you feedback, even when you don't think you're listening. Your soul is the loudest, most relentless part of your inner being. It never gives up on you. It's the part that makes you restless about why you're here. Your desire to matter, to mean something to someone, and to make a difference are calls from your soul. The outer flow is about energy and your surroundings or environment. It's about the visible energy in your space, like a desk, and the invisible energy present, like emotions. Now, you've been in a room before with someone that maybe isn't saying anything, and yet say they're really happy or say they're angry, and you can feel those emotions. That's energy, even if they aren't talking. And that energy is present in the space, sometimes even after they leave. Flow happens when your inner flow of your soul and your inner magnificence and intuition is aligned with the outer flow of your physical and energetic surroundings. And the benefits of that is that you get to live a life that matters. You have peace of mind, more freedom and flexibility, and you actually can make a difference. And your manifesting happens much faster. So any self-prompt that reminds you to focus on flow, not ebb, contributes to your greater sense of abundance. And abundance can be money, but it can be happiness. It can be peace of mind. It can be generosity. So anything that you can do as a self-prompt to remind yourself to get back in the flow or to focus on the flow when you start to get close to the ebb contributes to your abundance. The Great Race. So I want to tell you a little bit of folklore about Chinese astrology. The Jade Emperor announces that there's going to be a race among the animals, and whichever ones are the first 12 to cross the finish line will be honored in eternity in the night sky as the Chinese zodiac. These animals all line up and the race begins with the cat and the rat making a deal to ride together on the back of the ox. Their secret deal is when they get close to the gate, they will jump off and cross over the finish line to be the first to win. Well, on the way, the rat startles the cat, who falls off into the river and is washed away. This is why there is no year of the cat, and also why cats don't really like rats to this day. The animals all come across the finish line in various ways. The rat first, and then the ox. Following the ox comes the tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, ram, monkey, rooster, and dog. And the Jade Emperor is standing there to welcome them and congratulate them for completing the race and being one of the first 12. Well, he's standing there and he realizes there's only 11. The last to cross the line is the pig. And the Jade Emperor is surprised, considering the pig's speed in running. The emperor asks the pig, "How is it that you come in last?" Now listen to the pig's response, because this gives you some insight into the pig. The pig replies, "Well, he would have arrived sooner, but he was hungry along the way, and he had to stop for snacks. Well, and after eating, he was tired, and he took a nap." The Jade Emperor recognizes this is the nature of the pig and welcomes him into the zodiac with the others. The pig does not have any trouble taking care of themselves. So why Chinese astrology? And as you can see, all the animals are there. I use Chinese astrology to help me understand myself. It has been used for thousands of years to look at times to plant, times to harvest, times to understand people. Each of us has a unique energy signature. The signature is made up of 4 things that happen to do with your birth information, and they're called pillars in Chinese astrology. 4 pillars: the year you were born, the month you were born, the day, and the hour. And each one of those, you were born in a particular animal. So most people, when you ask them what sign in Chinese astrology they are, they're telling you that the year, animal of the year they were born. However, there are 3 other animals that could all be different. And each pillar also has an element, one of the 5 elements that goes with it. So this year is an earth pig year. And just to give you an example, right now, because the pig year hasn't started, we're in an earth dog year. Today is a fire rooster day. Hour of the pig is between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. So I also use Chinese astrology to choose the best days. The best days for traveling, the best days to sign a contract, the best day to seek a doctor's advice, the best day to have surgery, the best day for remodeling and repairs, the best day to start a business or make an offering, the best day to do feng shui consultations and adjustments. And each month has 2 days where the energy is not flowing well, and those are called Po days. On a Po day, it's an energy where the energy is not supporting the energy of the year or the day, and so it'll be more challenging. So these are days you want to avoid doing something really important, like signing a contract or having surgery or moving or getting married. So let's talk about the transition from the earth dog to the earth pig. And the transition begins about a month before the Chinese New Year. So we're well in the transition period. And sometimes there's a little chaos when that happens because the energies are mixing. The earth element is present in both the dog and the pig, but the earth in the dog is yang, which is represented by these mountains, which are not movable, strong, stable, and the energy is sort of outward going. It's yang. The earth of the pig is like the valley. It's movable. It's yin. It's moving inward. And there's a bit of uncertainty because the ground is not as stable as a mountain. The dog stands for justice and fairness and will fight to make the world a better place. The pig stands for honesty. They see the positive in everything, and they are responsible. So what energy does the pig bring this year? Well, the pig brings us honesty, kindness, The pig does not hide their emotions. Now, that doesn't mean they're always going to tell you what they're thinking. They can't hide it. So you can tell by their body language or you can feel their energy. They're generous, they're fun-loving, they're positive, and they value the good life. Value the good life over power. So now let's look at what the earth element energies are in this earth pig year. The earth energies are movable. They're about practicality, about reliability, nourishing the self and others, and about satisfaction. And the soul flow connection. When you're in harmony with the element of the year, you can hear more easily the messages that your soul is transmitting to you. So when the earth is out of balance, what happens? Well, a person would become very needy, selfish and opinionated, judgmental, rejecting, self-sacrificing, which also is like absolutely no boundaries or very, very small boundaries. And then that happens a lot when someone's needy. They just throw their boundaries out the window and just do whatever they can to try to get what they need from you or want. And unhealthy eating habits, that could lead to weight problems, either too much weight or not enough. And the earth element is about the digestive system. So when you're out of balance, you may have some digestive problems. The earth element is also about relationships. So when you're out of balance, you may be out of touch with yourself, or you may be having difficulty in relationships with someone else. Now, each animal has a natural element that goes with them. Sometimes it's the same as the element of the year, and sometimes it's not. So the pig's natural element is water. And what water does is it can persevere against hardships. When you think about it, water can wear away rocks by being persistent. And the water element also brings determination. So when the water is out of balance, a person will try to do too much. They'll overextend themselves. They'll be stuck in fear about the present and the future. They may have sleeping problems, insomnia, and isolation. They will isolate themselves from other people and places, and they'll be insecure. And they could also be exhausted. So when you have one or more of these things going on, it's much more difficult to connect and sync up with the messages of your soul, and your life can start to move further and further away from a life that matters and making a difference. So let's talk about compatibility. When you were in school, you probably had a best friend. And when you came to school and you were on the schoolyard, if you would see your best friend, you would go to the friend and say, "Hi, best friend." Each of the animals has a best friend too. And the pig's best friend happens to be the tiger. And so when the pig sees the tiger, he gravitates towards the tiger, not bothering anyone else. The pig and we in our lives have other friends besides a best friend, and the pig's other friends are the ram and the rabbit. So this should be a pretty smooth year for rams, rabbits, and tigers and pigs. However, that's only one of your 4 pillars. So the other pillars are influencing your year too. The most challenging relationship the pig has is with the monkey. So the monkey has to be mindful this year and mind their energy so that they can hear the messages of their soul. So one of the things that I do every year, and is sort of another folklore thing from Chinese astrology, is to carry a talisman of the best friend of the animal of the year. And that way, when the animal sees the talisman that you have, their energy will be drawn to the talisman, in this case, a tiger, and they kind of leave you alone. So that's extremely helpful for people that are challenging and anybody that's not one of the best friend or the friends. But actually, it's also a good thing to carry for all the animals. And you can get these talismans, and usually they're three-dimensional. You can get them in many places. One of the places I like, because they make them look nice, and I attach mine to my purse, and it hangs on my purse, so it's in my home all the time, and then whenever I leave, I carry it with me. It's on Etsy, and it's www.etsy.com/shop/feng shui shopper. And you might be able to find them on Amazon or other feng shui sites. So let's talk about some strategies to create earth balance. So one of the things that you can do, and now each one of these things will help you be in a position of alignment so that you'll be able to hear the messages of your soul. Practice empathy and compassion for yourself first, and then other people. Seek activities that give you satisfaction, because when you're satisfied, your energy is really flowing well. Follow a good self-care routine. That means taking care of yourself could be many levels, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and take care of your digestive system. So if you know there are things that aren't good for you, this is a good time to practice not eating them. No more donuts. Darn. But as you do these things and incorporate this, you're creating balance in the earth energy of this year, which is helping you stay connected to and synced up with the messages of your soul. So some strategies to create water balance, to conserve your energy with the 3 R's: relaxation, replenish, and rejuvenation. Those 3 things help you conserve energy and will help you create balance with water. So I like to think of like laying in a hammock as a great way to describe how that energy might feel. You can meditate or do relaxation exercises. Create some quiet time for yourself and remember your inner resources. Keep learning and trust yourself, and don't overextend your boundaries. When you are doing this, you're syncing up your life and business to be able to hear the messages of your soul. So let's talk about some chakra health. Chakras, which are those round circles that you see going up the spine and up to the top of the head, are energy centers in your body that interact with you and the energies in your surroundings, the people, the places, and the things. There are 7 chakras, and each one has a different energy for us. They monitor a different part of our body and of our emotions and of our spiritual connection. Now, there are more than 7 chakras, but we're just talking about the basic today. What you see there with the circle around, or the oval around the chakras, is your aura. And each person has an aura or an energy field that comes from within and is in your space. Most people don't see the aura, but that doesn't mean it's not there. And just notice that each of the chakras, as it starts at the bottom, which is called the root chakra, Each chakra is a different color, which means it's a different vibration. So the two chakras I think will really help this year is the first chakra, or the root chakra, which is located at the bottom of your spine. This chakra will help the earth energy by helping you to stay grounded. It governs patience, stability, structure, security, and the ability to manifest your dreams. And it's about grounding. So the color of this chakra is red. And notice in the diagram, there is a square. It's a three-dimensional form, so it's really a cube. So right now, just visualize a red cube moving into your root chakra or your first chakra, and just see that. And if you can't actually see it, just know that it's there. Create a grounding cord and attach it to that cube that's in that root chakra. And send that grounding cord down through your chair, down in through the floor, and into the earth. And down, down, down to the center of the earth. And when it reaches the center of the earth, just attach it there with an anchor or something heavy like a bowling ball, or even tree roots, like that just grows right in to the center of the earth. And as that happens, you bring yourself back into your body, which is what the first chakra does to help you stay grounded and to help you work with your earth energy of the year. The second chakra, which is actually the fifth chakra, and it's located in the throat. And this chakra's color is turquoise, or real light blue. And the shape is a pyramid that's upside down. This chakra is about self-integrity. So this chakra is going to help you with the pig part of the energy. Self-integrity. What is it that you tell yourself that you want to do? This is about doing it. Is it that I want to walk every day? I want to learn to meditate. I want to learn more about the chakras. Whatever it is. It's also a place that's the commitment to the truth. It's a place of willpower, but a willpower that every time you stand up for yourself, you're empowering or strengthening your fifth chakra. It's communication. It's where your communication comes from as you speak your truth, or maybe you don't speak your truth, but it's where communication is. And it's the place of creativity. This could be creativity in an art form. It could be creativity in making a meal. It could be creativity in problem solving. It could be creativity in figuring out a unique way to do something. So this fifth chakra is going to be really important in the honesty piece, because it's about being honest with yourself, really coming to grips with the truth. And then when and if you communicate it, you are speaking your truth, you're strengthening this chakra. And one of the things you can do, and just do it right now, is see an upside down pyramid that is turquoise and put it in your body so that it's the bottom of it, which is upside down, which is the base, is at the bottom of your jaw. And it's pointing down towards your heart. And visualize that pyramid is a container holding the energy of your fifth chakra. So whenever you feel like you need more help with any of these qualities, you can visualize the turquoise pyramid upside down in your throat area. Well, what you got today was flow, soul, and energy for the year. Earth pig energies, why Chinese astrology, and how to balance earth pig energy. We looked at 2 chakras that you can call on this year to help, one with the earth and one for the pig, or the honesty part. And when all of that is working together and you're more in the flow than in the ebb, you are living a life and a business that is in sync with your soul. Want to know more? Well, I'm launching a podcast called the Soul Flow Connection, which will be launching on Chinese New Year's Day, February 5th. And you can go to soulflowconnection.com, but it will also be on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And I'd love you to come by and take a visit or a listen. And this is a podcast to help you create your life and business to sync up with your soul. So today, the Earth Pig year, what we know is it's about honesty, responsibility, kindness, self-indulgence, creativity, fun-loving, and positive. If you want to know more, you can find it here at nancydadami.com, or come on over to the podcast, soulflowconnection.com. Happy New Year!